Toyota, bro.
You like Toyota?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You?
I like Honda.
But I like Subaru also. But
Subaru.
but Toyota lah more.
You like Toyota more?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Apparently, Toyota and Subaru had a joint venture, and they made the new AA86.
Oh, real?
Yeah, the Subaru says it's a BRZ, and
BRZ.
the Toyota is like AA86, bro. The new one.
Damn.
Yeah.
Don't understand like how suddenly Subaru and Toyota can make a collaboration like this.
I don't know, like, I guess it's some Japanese thing, man.
Japanese thing.
Some Japanese pride helping the clan.
I think the clan
Yeah.
is. I mean, I guess so. That would make more sense. I mean, in general, if you look at Honda and how they're marketing the Honda City right now, I think it's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, lah, with the VTEC and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, but you know who else likes Toyota?
Who?
My whole family likes
Your
Toyota.
whole family
yeah,
likes
yeah,
Toyota.
yeah.
Damn.
We don't think we could find any replacement for Toyota lah. First Toyota is already good. We cannot replace that.
Yeah.
It's not like what Manchester United is having a dilemma right now.
Yeah.
You know what dilemma United is having right now?
Trying to survive.
Trying to survive.
The
But
current manager.
The current manager. Their dilemma is apparently they're thinking real hard on two things: trying to keep the manager, or approach this other guy, and the other guy is Nick.
Mauricio Pochettino.
Yes, Mauricio Pochettino.
I mean, this is a topic that was going to be addressed eventually. It's just a matter of time that I think Ole Gunnar Soljskaer will be measured in how he confronts this next couple of games, especially in the league where they've really fallen behind. I think it's just been a very tough start for them. They had a good start in the Champions League, but it's just like fallen off since then.
Especially when they just lost to the Turkish champions.
Başakşehir.
Yeah. So first topic is about Mauricio Pochettino in Manchester United, right?
Do we think he's the right guy for the job?
Yeah. Hi guys, welcome to Just Talk TV, and yeah, on to our first topic.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking today about Mauricio Pochettino. The links have been heating up all week long. We've been hearing a lot of news of whether a formal approach has been made for Pochettino, whether or not he's going to join United, or will he join someone else? I mean, he's currently the biggest, hottest name in football right now when it comes to manager positions, and he's been linked with a couple of big-time jobs.
Yeah, he's still kind of young. You know, he's still prime. He's in his prime, no doubts about that, and has a lot of experience under his belt already. So currently, the biggest link he's having right now is with Manchester United, who is managed by Ole Gunnar Soljskaer. So apparently, like we said before, United just has a disaster of a week in the Champions League. A lot of bad things happen there: defending, attacking.
Couple that with the fact that they also kind of blew it against Arsenal on the weekend prior.
Yeah.
It's not been a good 2 weeks. I think the Ole at the wheel chants are slowly dying. At the moment, it's not easy to say what this means, because on the one hand, I think United fans are very reluctant to just sack Ole because he's a club legend, right?
Yeah.
That's the obvious
the sentimental value
thing. But if you look at the option right now, it's basically Pochettino is on the market right now.
Yep.
He just did an interview with Sky Sports with Jamie Carragher the other day.
Yeah, saying how he missed management, right?
Yeah,
and how he loves England.
That also.
So you add those two together.
Yeah. If you combine the fact that he's looking for, he's put himself out there.
Yep.
There's a lot of publicity, so it does look like he wants to come back into jobs, and I just think it's interesting how much Manchester United fans are a bit divided on this topic. There's some that have argued that Ole is working with what he's got. It's mainly the board's fault. Mm-hmm. There's some that argue that Ole is the problem. There's some that argue that Pochettino would come in and immediately change the culture of the club.
I think skill-wise, United has no issue, which we always bring up every week. But
but then there's a lot of debate on whether or not the players they have is sufficient for
I mean, sufficient. I think mentally should be an issue there.
mentality.
Yeah, because I think it does look like Ole is kind of lenient with his players. It does seem like some players are bigger than the club. It looks like it, which I think Pochettino will not have this issue.
Wink, wink. Who
Yeah.
are we talking about here? I wonder.
Pogba and all that. Maguire still having a good chance to be a club legend.
In order for this to make sense to me, I just wonder if Pochettino is the right man for this job. Because the thing is that, in terms of profile, okay, where did he manage?
Southampton.
Southampton.
In England,
In England,
Southampton, and then Spurs recently.
Right.
I think he was managing Espanyol before this.
Yeah. He was managing in Spain for a while.
Yeah, Espanyol.
In Espanyol, he was with Newell Old Boys before that, where he also had played under Marco Bielsa.
Yeah.
He had a very storied career.
Not to mention,
in
as a
Argentina.
player, he was pretty good as well.
Yeah, national team player.
Yeah, played in the World Cup.
Where they were.
as a defender as well.
Yeah. Is this now? Now we come into his managerial credentials, and there's a lot of argument here as to what exactly do we think. Is he a good manager? Is he a guy that can take this club to the next level? And oftentimes I hear one big argument point is that if you compare Ole and Pochettino, in terms of trophies, they're practically the same thing.
Yeah,
If
management-wise, yeah.
If not, I think Ole has more. No, he's not won a trophy.
No, he has
he?
not won a trophy at all.
Yeah, he's not won a trophy. So straight up,
Pochettino has been competing for leagues, and they have became a runner-up in the Champions League, but still nothing lah.
I just think it's interesting when we talk about Pochettino as a manager. Is he good enough to take a club like Manchester United, because you're taking really one of the two biggest clubs in England, right? If we're talking in terms of fan base size, global appeal,
Mhm.
these are the top tier teams. These two teams, when it comes to stature,
Yeah.
and you're going into a club like Manchester United, and it's not like Spurs. It's not like, and not to say that his expectations in Spurs were low. His expectations in Spurs was quite reasonable. His expectations in Southampton was quite lesser than that.
Yeah. That's true.
They weren't teams that would like win things or anything,
Yeah.
but they were very good teams, very entertaining teams.
But I would say he did bring Spurs to the next level,
Yeah.
in a way.
Yes.
I mean, like, okay, in Spurs, there's only been 2 times that Spurs has finished out of the top 4. His first season and his last season. So, and his last season was like he didn't play a full season, right? So, in his defense, he did bring Spurs to the next level in a way, until that they are fighting in the Champions League final and all that. So, Man United, do you think he would be the same in a way?
Well, first of all, he's got to build the team in his image. So my question is, what about players like, it's not just going to be a come in there and everything will click.
Yeah,
Bruno,
that's true.
I think the good news for him is in terms of how he plays. He has always been a traditional workhorse. The team has to build through the press.
Yeah, pressing and attacking.
Build through effort and energy.
Yeah.
And the interesting stat is that when he was in Southampton, when he was first in Southampton at the peak of their powers and he came into the Premier League, they ranked number 1 in terms of distance covered.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
at that exact moment, Spurs was the last team in terms of distance covered in the league. After he went to Spurs, they had consecutive seasons where they were ranked number 1 in terms of distance covered. So that means his players are active. They're robust. They cover every inch of the field.
Mhm.
They go in for tackles. They can go in to hassle the other team's players. And these are the kinds of qualities that Pochettino likes to play with. He also has always been traditionally known for a very good defensive lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in general, when he was in Spurs, I think they boasted one of the best defenses in the league a few years. So
Yeah,
he's-
Alderweireld and all that. He had a pretty good defense.
yeah,
No, even Lloris was a pretty good goalkeeper as well in the league.
I think the great thing about it was that Lloris didn't have to worry about much because the Vertonghen Alderweireld partnership made all the difference. Like it was a very strong defense. They rarely got thrashed. In terms of
I think like his midfield has always been consistent, except for the last season. I think safe to say, but in all his season, he's pretty good midfield. Huh?
Yeah,
I think with United, more or less, let's say it clicks lah. Let's just say for argument's sake, I think if he managed to click with the United players, especially the midfields, I think we're gonna have a very formidable team challenging for the league.
if you look at Pochettino's management style here, we're talking about a guy who pretty much needs a team that is active and robust.
Yeah.
And I don't see this is where player personnel is very important. And I think you can see it, the difference. In Spurs, he had very quality players who you didn't have to like go out of your way to find them. But when he had, I think, was it Moussa Dembele? And when he had
that was a workhorse.
Yeah,
that was
and
a pure workhorse.
He had a young Del Ali who was
an attacking powerhouse.
He had Harry. He
The
developed
only
Harry
reason
Kane.
I think Dele Alli dropped in the last few seasons is that Pochettino actually tried to play him in a different kind of role, other than attacking.
I mean, he's so young. He should be able to adapt to that kind of thing.
That's true. But
this
in
is
his element, I think Dele Alli is pretty good at what he is as an attacking midfielder.
I would say that he's quite inconsistent at the moment. I
At the
don't
moment,
know what to expect from him, and you can see under Mourinho, there are times when he looks like you cannot keep him out, but then there are other times when it looks like, he's completely lost in the game.
Yeah. So as I see, traditionally he used to always, not all the time, but most of the time he will be playing a 4-2-3-1 kind of position. Over the years, he was a 4-3-3 because Harry Kane will be dropping down, so Harry Kane can't be the main guy poaching and all that. But in the end, it's still a very high pressing attacking football. Yeah, at the same time, his defense is pretty good.
That's what I think Pochettino would have to communicate to the players at United.
Yeah, it's a quick press.
It's a pressing quick press. We move as a unit. We defend as a unit. Yeah. No one is lagging behind. If you looked at the United game against Başakşehir the other day, their defense was literally on the other side of the field. While the attack was coming, it was like watching a herd of zebra come into the thing while the freaking lions are coming to score the goal. It was just no defensive organization
at all.
And Pochettino would have to come in and solve that straight away. And I don't know if he has the player personnel that to do that, because Vertonghen and Alderweireld were leadership figures at the back. Lloris is a club is a captain. He's a captain material, always has been. And
Dyer, you can't match with Dyer.
It depends. Again, we're talking about United here, in which case I don't know if they got Maguire.
Okay, even in the midfield, they don't really have a defensive-minded midfielder. I mean, other than Fred, but he's not been playing a lot right now.
No,
let's look at the midfield. Okay, compare the midfield to Spurs in high pressing situation. United right now usually play with what's his name?
Scott McTominay.
Scott McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, and maybe Pogba.
Right.
I mean, if you compare that to Spurs centre midfielder, which is Dele Alli, and then there is a defensive mind who is Eric Dyer, and sometimes Wanyama as well, and Christian Eriksen. I think that Spurs lineup is very, very balanced in the midfield compared to United.
I would say that it's balanced, but I would say
in
also
Spurs is very.
Here's
balanced.
The thing about United, right? There's actually a way to play this United midfield, and Soljskaer's been trying it recently. It's called the diamond. Right now, it looks to me like
that is true.
If Pochettino comes in here, can he play a 4-2-3-1 with this current formation?
Yeah, with this player right now.
In United, I'm talking about in United.
In United is going to be.
Will Pochettino be able to come in, look at his players and go, you need to put this in a 4-2-3-1 situation. We need to have the midfield fall back if need be. Because what's going to happen is, when they start playing defensively, Pochettino likes them to fall back into a 5-man defense.
Yeah. That's the issue. They don't really have a defensive midfield kind of guy in the midfields.
You got Matic. You got McTominay. You've got, and I look at McTominay and I think that he's.
Matic is. Do you think he's a good defensive midfielder?
I think Matic has experience in this position.
Yeah, experience. Okay. Yeah,
If you were telling me that the only thing about Matic, I think the problem is he won't be able to play the pressing style.
yeah, and he's a bit on the older side.
Hence why it would be difficult for him to play the pressing
Yeah,
style.
yeah,
I would say that more than anything, the player personnel for Pochettino is important
yeah.
in the sense that how many passengers can you carry?
Yeah,
You know, you can maybe make up for Matic or Fred or whatever, but you know, in order for Bruno Fernandes to not have to be folding back and spending more time defending than attacking, you need two other capable guys, and this is where I have to question if Pochettino can do the biggest thing that is the most difficult thing to do at United, and that's get the absolute best out of Paul Pogba.
Yes.
Because that pretty
Mourinho
much
couldn't do it. Ole couldn't do it.
the thing about
So-
Poch is, from what we've heard of him, he
He's
seems
a
to be a very
strict guy.
strict or
Very-
likable guy.
Likeable but
He's
still
very
strict.
well liked amongst his players, from what
Yeah.
I've heard. But the problem is, can he communicate this across to a guy like Paul Pogba,
Yeah.
who, let's admit it, Paul Pogba is not to blame for what's happening at United.
Yes.
He's not. I think Paul Pogba is a fantastic player. But again, with these kind of players, you need to know how to communicate. And you need to put the right personnel around these kind of players. I think it's pretty much decided now when you look at it. And a lot of people have told me when they've watched Pogba that you cannot thrust Pogba into a leadership role and tell him to carry all the players.
Yes.
That's
I think
impossible.
it's too much pressure on him.
You got to lay the foundations and have a backup for someone to support him. And this is supposed to be a guy like Fred or a guy like McTominay. So is that level of player enough? Or do you need a guy like, for example, let's say a guy like Thiago, or a guy like, a calming presence next to him who's able to,
Yeah, I think a
direct.
Dembele will be
a
very good.
Dembele,
Yeah, very, very good.
one of those kind
Box to box kind of guy, but defensive as well.
of defensive and passing.
Possessive. That's the most important thing right now. Like
Yeah.
in the midfield right now, Pogba. Okay, let's just take Pogba out of the equation. With the other midfields, who is a pretty possessive-minded guy?
None of them.
None of them, right?
None of them are very possession based.
Mason Greenwood.
Maybe McTominay, maybe.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, McTominay, not Greenwood. McTominay can be molded into that. He's still quite
Yeah,
young.
I
and
think he can.
He can.
Although some people have said that they don't see the quality in McTominay, but then again, I would argue the kid is so young and
Yeah,
hard
he's
to tell.
starting matches.
It is hard to just dismiss him.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with the other problem with the United squad in general. For Pochettino, now I know the focus is on Pochettino, so I know that but we have to talk about it because that's where something in terms of what went wrong in Tottenham the last time he was in charge.
Mm-hmm.
This led down a spiral that I just have to sit and wonder, like, what happened that led him to fail. Because that Champions League final, he insisted on playing Harry Kane.
Yeah.
They didn't put in a good performance. To be honest, neither team put in a great
Yeah,
performance.
it was a very
Drab.
boring match. In a
But
way.
I mean, it wasn't boring for me.
It was dragging a lot.
Yeah, and I just think that after that Champions League final, the idea was, look, they're going to come back next season, they're going to retool, they're going to go again, right?
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
They went downhill from there.
They collapsed.
Yeah.
They just epically collapsed. And I just don't know what happened to him. Even in the All or Nothing documentary that they did with Tottenham Hotspur, there was barely any mention of Pochettino.
Yeah, that's true.
Which
And
is
that
really
was after
strange.
he left.
Yeah, it was really strange how that happened. And that whole situation culminated also with Eriksen leaving. Like,
Yeah.
Eriksen left eventually.
Half a season in.
Yeah, and I think it was a heavy injury to Harry Kane.
And not getting a replacement for Eriksen as well. That's not on Pochettino.
That's not on Pochettino, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
That's just how it is. I
Yeah.
remember that season they were supposed to make a big push at the end of that
Mm-hmm.
during the ending time of his reign.
Yeah.
And their defense, which was so solid, had crumbled.
Yeah.
and they just were not getting anything. Like result-wise, they were struggling. There was not
Yeah.
enough attack options. You know, I don't know. I just need to compare and just say what do you think went wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, because it just we can sit
I mean-
here and say all this, but it's going to be important because now he's not taking over a stable team. If he does come to United, Pochettino is going to be stuck with a team that is not very stable.
Yeah.
So what do
That's-
we?
that's
I mean, what? Honestly, I don't know what to think about.
I mean, he can't be coming into United expecting to put the same tactic that he did for Spurs, like that high press, quick pressing, because it works against them as well. With the defense they have, another team can just counter and just score a goal. It works both ways. You need to have a strong defense. That's why it worked for Spurs. Not only that, he doesn't really have a Harry Kane type player, a middle forward that drives back in United. Maybe Cavani, but I don't think Cavani drops back that much. Cavani is more of a poacher attacking. Other than that, Anthony Martial has been playing a lot in the center role. So I think in that sense, he's gonna have to adapt to that, to the United team. And also, if he wants a Ericsson type of playmaker, Pogba is supposed to be that, but he's not performing.
No, I mean traditionally, if you've looked at how Pochettino teams play, there's always going to be that number 10 guy, and it's got to be Fernandes. I just don't see
It's,
anyone else it could
yeah.
be. He's made for that kind of role.
Yeah. Oh, he did it the same with Lallana in
Exactly.
Spurs, Southampton. Yeah.
When that team with Adam Lallana and then Ricky
Yeah.
Lambert up front,
Yeah, that was
You know,
really
that was
dropping in.
That was a crazy team.
Oh,
Jay Rodriguez on the wing.
dropping to the top 6 as well. Huh?
Yeah.
In the Southampton team.
That Southampton team was so interesting how he set it up.
That was just promoted by like a few years by that time.
Yeah.
I think a couple of years only. Then he took over and pretty much brought it to the next level.
He brought it to the next level for sure.
Yeah.
But that team was so good that we often, I think it's like almost like forgotten after the Leicester winning the league thing. I think the Southampton team is pretty much not remembered, even though it had Adam Lallana playing some of the best football that they've played under Pochettino.
Yeah.
Ricky Lambert was another guy. Jay Rodriguez was another guy. Luke Shaw was another guy. So
Who
your
is in
favorite,
United
your
now?
favorite
Yeah.
player.
Who's in United now?
Yeah.
So
and who else? Nathaniel Klein was another guy that he developed.
I mean, Klein plays kind of like a Wan Bissaka type of role.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think he would know what to do with Wan Bissaka. He obviously knows what to do with Luke Shaw. It's just if Luke Shaw is injured or not lah. But I think do you think he would know what to do with Van de Beek? Donny Van de Beek.
One can hope so because he had similar
I think
a similar situation in Tottenham, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, I think Van de Beek can support Fernandes as a playmaker, whilst Fernandes is as a pure number 10.
I think so too. It would definitely be. I think you can also use him as like a pseudo second striker. if you want to
something
use
like that.
And if you want to, you could play a midfield diamond.
Yeah, But-
It depends on how flexible Pochettino is in terms of formations.
yeah,
History has told us he likes 4-2-3-1.
yeah.
That's what history has told us. He's
Yes.
played a bit of 4-3-3. He's done a little bit of tactical
I
flexible.
mean, 4-2-3-1 in a way with what he has right now, maybe no. I really do like the Bruno Fernandes and Van de Beek kind of thing, but you need to have a defensive midfielder to cover them. So and a strong defense, of course. So I think that's where they cut short from there.
I think strong defenses
short.
can be sort of forged. These are the
Mhm.
kinds of things that you work on in
Mhm.
training.
Yeah. Not to mention, Bishaka and Luke Shaw are very pressing players as well.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
So
they
I
are.
think no issue with Luke Shaw, or fit Luke Shaw and one Bishaka lah.
Pretty much like we were talking about giving this car here to a guy like Pochettino and say you got to make this into a Ferrari
Yes.
essentially. The problem,
A Fiat into a Ferrari.
it's got a lot of potential. The team
Yeah.
has the team going up. I think the team going up front with Rashford, who is electric.
Yes.
Greenwood, who is really good. Cavani,
Cavani, new
Yeah.
signing.
Marshall is another guy who is Martial's the interesting one because I think he's kind of like the odd man out at the moment.
Yeah, I mean he does score in the important goals.
He does score in the important goals, but we've not seen like
Yeah, not
a
that
consistency
much.
from him. That
To be fair, he did be playing in the middle when he's a natural winger. He is being played a lot in the front lines in the middle.
so you think he's a winger or a striker?
No, I think he's more of a winger naturally. But
I think so.
yeah, that's what they paid him for.
But that's the problem. I don't know if like the United fans have enough faith in Rashford to play in the middle. Because the thing is, if Martial's to play in the wing, you need to move Rashford into the middle. Can Pochettino
Yeah.
do that?
I mean, that's just one of the life's risks he has to take. I mean, he did risk with Harry Kane. Let's be honest. Pochettino gave faith in Harry Kane by dropping Sodaldo.
To be fair, it wasn't
Yeah.
that hard of a risk to make. Soldado wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, but he was an expensive signing. I mean, it became like a meme and a joke about how Harry Kane was scoring a lot. Everyone was not expecting him to like be consistent. He just got his 200 goal as well for
Yeah.
Spurs.
But you can see Harry Kane is a different style of player in general.
Yeah.
But the way he started under Pochettino
Yes.
was through scoring
Yeah.
goals,
Yes,
then
yes.
scoring in the London derby.
Yeah.
He
And,
made a
and
big name for
eventually
himself.
he became like a deep laying forward. He was actually a poacher at first.
The question. So now
Harry Kane.
my main thing is Pochettino going to suit a club like Manchester United? There's three things you need to consider when you're talking about this. One, is he a tactical fit for the team?
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. And I think on that sense, he feels like he can make something work, but he's lacking some personnel there to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
But again, this isn't a thing where you throw out the entire team. You need to keep some players on that team
Mhm.
that can work for you. Guys like De Gea, guys like Rashford.
Yeah.
Paul Pogba is a bit of a if he can communicate with Pogba and get the best out of Paul Pogba on a weekly basis, then yes. If not, then it's going to be a problem. So personnel-wise, is he a tactical fit for the team? Maybe. Is the board going to back him, number two?
Yeah, I think he had a problem with the board at Spurs in the first place. Let's not forget that.
That's right.
So with United, I'm not
He's
sure.
been told pretty much in his last two managerial stints that he cannot like buy big expensive players, because for Spurs it was because of the stadium.
Yeah. That was a bad time.
For Southampton because it's Southampton. So
Mm.
he was being told that he can't buy a lot of expensive players, so he needs to develop. But at the same time, also with those players, I think everyone has given him kind of a pass in terms of having to win stuff.
Mhm.
It's not the same like with guys like, for example, Jurgen Klopp,
Yeah.
who when he made that Champions League final, everyone was asking, can he win it or not?
Yeah.
And is he going to not win anything? Is he
Bringing
gonna-
up the history of him not doing good in finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Pochettino was kind of given this pass because everyone was more like, okay, yeah, he can't do much with the budget that he has
Yeah.
in Spurs. So now my major question with him is, he's coming to United. Is the board going to back him? Is the board going to back him? And then number three, the final thing is,
I think
can he cope with the pressure of being in a team like Spurs?
Yeah.
Like United,
United.
sorry.
I mean, first things first, he does at Spurs itself. He's kind of a maverick against the management, Not a maverick. I mean, like he is pretty stern with the management there. But don't you think?
I think he needs to do what he needs to do.
Yeah.
and
So I think
accept
in
those things.
United they haven't had like a stern manager as of yet. You maybe Mourinho lah, but Ole of course is not having an issue with Ole lah. He's not going against the management and all that. So I think Pochettino would have his foot on the ground and make a bigger stance in what he wants at United, which could put the management off. I don't know.
We don't know we don't know what
Yeah.
team he's bringing in. That's
Yeah,
the thing. He's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
bring in his own management team
Yeah.
if he gets hired there.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, before anything, the expectation is that this team will need to play fluent attacking football again, because right now the numbers are not good. It's not it's not at all in Solskjaer's favor here, and I've been a bit proponent of trying to keep Solskjaer on board, but in this season alone, the numbers have been the worst it's been in terms of goals scored and goals allowed.
Mm-hmm.
at United since the era of Ferguson. It's been pretty bad this season, this last 6 games, statistically. And I mean, of course, the good thing that Solskjaer has going for him is last season he turned it around.
Yeah.
He turned it around. Maybe that's what he needs this season. But the bad news is, I think there's a bit of impatience growing, and they've lost 2 matches on the trot now.
On the trot, and they're up against Everton, which is going to be a hard game.
I'm very conflicted on that game, actually.
Yeah.
Very conflicted. I don't know what to think about it, really. I think I want Everton to lose. It's United. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want.
I want Ole at the wheel still.
You want Ole at the wheel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
I think even if they get Pochettino in, it's going to be a difficult thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if they get Pochettino to come in there and change things,
Yeah.
it's going to be like, yeah, okay, I'm here now. I need to get this team to play octane attacking football,
Yeah.
you know? And I
With
got
a
to
strong
get
defense
with
as
a,
well.
with a balanced defense.
Yeah.
And then you got Harry Maguire and Lindelof sitting at the back there.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Eric Bailey's been missing now.
This team even has said they play better with a back 3. So it's hard to tell what they're going to do, really. I think, honestly, it's going to have... Pochettino's going to need to be really on his game, like really top management for him to suit a club like United.
Mm-hmm.
The fit is quite not in his favor, in a sense.
Yeah.
That being
that's
said,
true.
you know, the good thing, he's got Fernandes there. I think they can build around that.
Yeah.
They can build around Fernandes and Rashford.
He already has that number 10.
Yeah, he's got that number 10 that he wants, and I think
Rashford, of course, the golden boy right there. And also Bishaka. I think Bishaka there's no issue. He's one of the best right backs in the league right now.
You think so?
Yeah, in the league lah, in the English Premier League.
Great.
And quite young as well.
Yeah, he is.
I think Bishaka does suit his Nathaniel Clyde type profile, yeah. And also that Spurs right back that went to Atletico Madrid.
Trippier.
Yeah, even Trippier. He's almost of the same mold.
Right.
Yeah, so I think pressing wise with the right back, no issue.
I think left back also there's no issue.
Left back, if he's fit, I think no issue. Seriously, no issue.
No, but then if they got
Shaw.
Alex Telles there, Alex Telles is really good.
Oh yeah, he's also pretty good.
Yeah, he's just had COVID, I think, recently.
Yeah.
Other than that, when the guy plays, he's like really, really quite impressive.
Yeah.
So I think in terms of left back, they got some choices there they can make.
Yeah.
We have to see in the long run whether or not they go with
center defender, this centre backs.
Yeah. So I mean, like, these are Pochettino's linked to this United job right now.
Yeah.
But if he's not Manchester United, I think there's a lot of clubs that have said that they want him.
Yes.
So where do you think he's going to end up, man?
I'm not saying that he's going to end up there, but okay. A few years ago, he said that it's going to be impossible for him to manage Barcelona. And then this year itself, in August, he came out with a statement saying he regrets saying that. So that may be or maybe not be a sign there that he might show interest if they come. So let's take a look at Barcelona. I think right now, their manager Ronald Koeman has never been like a long-term plan. I think he's always been like a temporary manager in the Barcelona's eyes.
Yeah.
I think they might go for Pochettino maybe. Also, let's not forget that Barcelona's top management just got
Their executive board
just resigned, and they're probably going to change.
Elections are coming up, so maybe that's something that he could be waiting to see.
Yeah, maybe he will wait to see. Yeah. Also, he does have that connection to Barcelona through Espanyol. I mean, the Catalan, so he knows the area. He also played for that. Hence why he said in 2017 it will be impossible for him to manage Barcelona. But then again, with what he said, saying that he regrets saying that, maybe. In my view, if Barcelona comes, maybe he would accept it.
I think that he would definitely be more at home in the Spanish league with the teams like Barcelona's an interesting shout.
Yeah.
I do think that adherence to Barcelona's DNA system might not allow for a guy like Pochettino to actually do very well as we might think.
He does like to step his foot down. He's more to the top management and to the players. So I
don't think that Pochettino is a problem with top management. I think his problem
Messi.
His problem will only be if the players can get on board with his system.
Yes. Okay.
And so far, it's actually shown that wherever he's gone, the players usually buy into the system.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he goes to those teams, because he has confidence that players will buy into his system.
Yeah.
Now, I would say that, honestly, Barcelona's a good shout, but Barcelona's biggest problem is that the expectation is in for him to win like day one.
Yeah. But they are at the crossroad right now. I think Barcelona. They are at risk of becoming Barcelona of 2003, where they are not winning a lot of leagues and trophies. So, who knows? They have to make that crossroad change. It is bound to happen anyway, especially with Messi being in the older age and not really caring that much, I guess.
For me, I think that there's only like two jobs that, if not the United job, that the one he's linked to,
Yeah.
right? If not the United job, there's two jobs I can see him potentially like going in and doing a shift.
Yeah.
One would be the PSG job.
Okay.
Because
Yes.
Tuchel's in trouble.
Yeah.
after
Big
his-
trouble.
Yeah, he's in big trouble after his Champions League run lately.
Yeah.
And I think there could be a bit of a power move in PSG
Mm-hmm.
to try and keep a guy like Mbappe on the roster.
Yeah. Trying to keep faith.
Yeah, and then giving a guy like Neymar to Pochettino,
Yeah.
that would be interesting. I don't know what would happen there.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of interesting things happening.
To be
Um,
fair, Neymar has been injured quite a lot, so yeah, who knows?
The other job that I think that is interesting that no one's really talking about at the moment, but down the line we could be seeing a thing where Inter Milan could see Conte
Inter Milan.
walk away from that job.
Serious?
I'm just speculating here. I'm saying that if Conte walks away from that job,
Okay.
if
Okay.
I could see Pochettino making a move there. It's
That's
very possible.
Very interesting.
They've got a good team lineup that suits him,
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
and
I don't.
I don't know about his style. I don't know about his style of play, whether it suits the players they have there, because you tell him to go in press and all, might not be a thing. But he's got Christian Eriksen there.
Yes.
He's got Lukaku. These
Yep.
are players he's used to. They've got a good team lineup, all being told.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Right back is a wing back line. It's Victor
Yeah.
Moses, who's always been a very attacking wing
the only
back.
reason I'm hesitant to say Pochettino to teams like Real Madrid and all is that I don't see Zidane like getting sacked.
Yeah, I think no shout out there.
Because I
for
just
it.
think Zidane's a guy who he'll walk away if he wants to walk away.
Yeah.
You know, he's definitely earned it. If you win the La Decima, you earn the opportunity to stay.
This is not only
Madrid.
that. I mean, he won it with freaking Benzema as the main man. I mean, I was not expecting that lah.
But then,
So-
you see how important Benzema is, right?
Yeah.
So I think Inter is a team that's interesting for Pochettino. I think the other team would be PSG. If not United, Barcelona's an interesting shout too.
Yeah.
These are all teams that could
Okay,
benefit.
another quick one, very last shout out is, let's say you said if Kante's leave, right? So I think another thing is if the young manager, inexperienced manager get the sack or things don't work out, he leaves, get the sack or something. I think Juventus, you think is a good shout out?
Pirlo?
Yep.
No, man. Like you gotta have guts to sack Pirlo.
Yeah, I mean, who knows, man?
Pirlo is a Juventus club mainstay, right?
Yes.
I think, but Pirlo is a bit low on the ladder from guys like Buffon
Yeah.
or Del Piero.
Yeah.
So
Because he came in quite late. He came in
but
quite late.
still,
yeah.
he's an Italian football
Yeah. Yeah.
figurehead.
Yeah.
So to sack him would take a lot of guts.
Yep.
I just maybe Juve.
Yeah, maybe Juve.
Could
Or
be.
maybe somewhere along the lines of Napoli. But Napoli has
Nah, I
a
don't
pretty
think so.
bad management right now.
I do not think that Pochettino is going to walk into a situation.
Yeah.
I don't think Mauricio Pochettino is going to walk into a situation that is not ready made for him to take.
Yeah. Okay.
You know
Yeah,
what I
sure.
mean?
So I think Juventus
I
is a
think
good shout.
I think
if Pirlo is gone.
Juve is okay. Inter is good. Barcelona, a little bit chaotic, but they have something there.
Yeah.
United,
he's a big name. He's a very big
United's
name.
in chaos, but United again, they have something there. PSG, same.
Mm-hmm.
They,
Yeah.
they got something.
Yeah.
So these are teams that are established that look like they can financially back him. So
Yeah,
that would be the
like in
positive
the
thing.
end, he would, of course, he would want to find another job in management.
yeah.
But I think he definitely wants to win his first trophy. So
if you're a manager, I think you want to win a trophy.
He
right?
really wants it very bad. I think he wants it in the first season. So Barcelona and PSG for me is going to be the easiest one.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I can see
yeah.
that. I definitely can see PSG
Yeah.
because PSG is good at selling projects. They like young managers.
Yeah.
And I think they might like the fact that Mauricio Pochettino is a fresh.
And might be a stepping
Yeah.
stone as well.
Yeah, it's
maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Just win the Champions League there and go
Yeah.
somewhere else. Go to
Definitely.
Barcelona or Real Madrid.
Yeah, it's really hard to win the Champions League in Paris at the moment.
yeah.
He's got a lot of work to do. But yeah, I think in terms of the United link, that looks like it's possible.
It looks like a minimum of a call to his agent or a call to him lah. They're gonna make the move lah. Regardless, no matter what. If he gonna accept it, there's gonna be another case.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
minimum, there's definitely gonna be a call there
Yeah.
from Woodwork.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you think, guys? Do you think when you're a Manchester United fan,
Yes.
do you think that Ole is still at the wheel, or do you think it's time to better call Poch?
Yeah. Do you think Poch is a very good has a good tactic with what players you have right now with Man United?
Yeah. So please comment below.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think.
Yes.
Are you Ole at the wheel or better call Poch?
Yeah. And also, if there are any teams you think Poch might go to, just write it down in the comments.
Exactly. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe on this
Subscribe.
video. And we will see you in the next segment.